What's the most awkward favor someone has ever called in? My college roommate Marcus did me a favor sophomore year that changed everything for me. I was in the middle of a medical crisis. My kidneys were failing, and Marcus stepped up and donated one of his. It wasn't a movie-style rooftop save, but it was as huge as anything could be. After the surgery, he squeezed my hand and said, "You owe me big time. Someday I'm going to need something huge, and you better deliver." I figured he'd ask me to write his thesis, or loan him money after graduation. Normal stuff. Instead, 7 years later, I get a call at 2 a.m. Remember that favor? Marcus's voice sounded thin over the line. "Yeah, of course. What do you need?" Long pause. "I need you to be my business partner at my family reunion this weekend." I laughed because it sounded ridiculous. "You're serious?" "Dead serious. I've been telling my family I'm a co-owner of a local bakery for years. They keep asking when they'll finally meet the partner. It's become a thing. Whole family's insisting. You're the only person I can think of who owes me enough." He sounded small on the phone in a way I hadn't heard since before the transplant. No pressure was coming from the whole family, all at once. I hesitated. "Marcus, I can give you a ride. I can taste test muffins. But fake a business partner? I don't know how to do that." "I saved your life," he said simply. "This will save my relationship with them, please." I thought a little. Boy, those drama classes after school better pay up. Marcus had stitched together an entire backstory for our business. How we met at a farmer's market, how we decided to open a retro van bakery serving sourdough and terrible puns, even a fake plan for expansion. I memorized names of pastries I had never tasted and nodded like a fool while cousins asked about profit margins. There were times I thought the whole charade would be exposed, like when, right after the ceremonial cutting of the reunion cake, Marcus's Aunt Rosa, bless her, wanted proof of my partner's credentials and was reaching for her tote bag where she kept community flyers and theoretically a printed menu. She started pulling things out, and just as her hand plunged into the bag, she knocked a candle centerpiece on top of the cake. For a horrible, movie-ready second, the flame licked higher and smoke curled up. People jumped up to pat it down. Someone shoved plates into hands, and Aunt Rosa was busy apologizing and waving napkins. The whole show me your flyers moment evaporated in the chaos of saving the cake. The family rallied like a tiny disaster unit. Nobody got suspicious. They just wanted frosting. By the end of the weekend, Marcus was glowing in that goofy, relieved way that makes you grin even when you're exhausted. He kept pulling me aside to thank me, then immediately worrying his way back into a public conversation so the family could keep believing. A few months later, I ran into Marcus at a farmer's market. Not one of those in his fake backstory, but a real one. And he brought someone with him. A short, impossibly cheerful woman named Layla, who sold artisanal bread in a folding booth. They stood together behind a chalkboard sign that wasn't ours, smiling as customers queued for loaves. Marcus introduced her properly, like he had a right to introduce her, and said, "This is Layla, my actual co-owner." I felt a little stupid with happiness. All weekend, I'd been pretending so Marcus could buy time with his family. Seeing him there, hands flour-dusted and eyes bright, owning the thing he'd pretended to have, that was better than any thanks. He'd built something real, a tiny business, a partner who actually answered to the name he used at the reunion, and a family that would eventually meet the real person and stop needing the performance. Subscribe.